What's going on, everybody? All right, everybody, what's up? Sorry for the little delay. You know how we do. I'm trying to get this right, and fortunately, I keep having to switch programs, and each time I'm learning the program. I try to do it beforehand where I play with it, but you know how it goes when you're like actually in it. It actually messes up. Huh. How do I actually get rid of that? Wow. Huh. Interesting. All right, so tonight we're gonna have a guest, Max. He's running a little late right now, so till then you guys have me. All right. So basically tonight's topic is to keep pushing through, right? And by what I mean by keep pushing through, literally meaning like if you have anything that's you're down about, if you have anything that you are not quite how should I say this? Not quite you just discourage literal discouragement, right? Like if you're discouraged about things, how do we keep going? How do we keep a positive mindset? How do we keep pushing through? And pretty much what I have is I mean, to be honest, it was really about Max, but right now what I have is, certain things and once the conversation happens, we'll get into all that. Let's see if he makes out. He was working today a lot, so he had to get something to eat before he even jumped on. So besides that, just want to know, I guess I'll say, I appreciate all of you guys as always. Thank you for, following the channel. Continue to follow the channel, continue to share the channel, like, subscribe, all that. It's always interesting to see people who, I never expected that would be watching. And when they actually send me the text like, hey, yo, I've been watching, everything's been great. It's encouraging. It's very encouraging. So continue, please keep watching. I'll do my best to make this thing work a lot better. And of course, as I learn different stuff, that will continue to happen. Just trying to get everybody in the chat just to see. All right. Till then, let's go. Okay. What about this one? Hold on. Just give me a second. Just have to send them the link again. Do. So, as he gets the link now, we'll get him in shortly. But besides that, hold on, it's coming in. Oh, there he goes. Boom. Can you hear?
Yeah.
All right.
Can you hear me?
I hear you perfectly.
Can you see me?
Yep.
All right.
Still a little, we're trying to work on the Y fizzy, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Oh my lordy.
All right. So now that we got you in, how's it been going, man?
Good. Good.
All right. Now, if you want to, I guess, explain to the people, because you were here before, and just for those that did miss the last talk or didn't get to watch it, explain to people what's going on with you, what's going on in your life, stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Obviously, my name is Max. Last name Charles. Uh, we're going on now. Yeah. I'm going, I guess, 5, 6 months now since I got out of prison. I went into prison for pretty much a DWI. Did about close to 3 years. 3 years, 2 and some change. Um, uh, just that's really about it. What's new with me right now from the last time we chatted, I finally got me a job. Uh,
Congrats.
yeah, thank you. So I mean, this I guess it goes with what the top me just being persistent and just having faith and just being very optimistic.
So now,
And
with you getting the job, right? There was,
hmm
like you said, it's been 6 months, and it's now that you're getting the job, right? What were
right.
the obstacles that was, I guess, in your path to
Um,
getting the job?
pe- people wanted to take a chance with me, you know, because of that whole stigma that he's from. So just having that stigma that people look at you because you're from, or that you've been locked up, that you're no good, or that you are a troublemaker, or are you going to be difficult to work with? Which, me personally, I feel like that's the complete opposite. Because when someone who comes out of prison, they know this. They know that these odds are against them, so they're more likely not to want to mess up. You know, they're not. They're not. They're more likely to take it for granted and let you down. They're gonna give you 110%. They're gonna be there 5 times before you their original game time. You know, so those are one of the obstacles. You know, and then obviously, you know, with parole, having to do with those restrictions that I have. In fact, what worked perfectly at the job. I got the job Friday, right? I heard about the job, I want to say Wednesday or Thursday. So I heard about the job, that the job requires me to be able to leave the valley and come to Dallas. At the time, my parole doesn't allow me to travel. I was on a high security. So I called my parole officer and I let her know that I had an opportunity, that how the job works. I'll be there for 10 days. They have a address. They're good people and they're reliable and stuff like that. Just ran it all down to her. And as I'm doing my spiel that I have done like time and time and before, time and time again before in the past with her, and usually hearing no, no, no. She looked at me and goes, "Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. I forgot to text you. I knew I forgot to do something." I'm like, "What's that?" She's like, you're no longer on high security. You've been doing good. You know, you've been complying. You're up to date on your payments. You are on low security, huh?" I'm on the phone right now, so I'm not going to McDonald's right now. No, sorry. I'm sorry about that. That was a roommate. But so now I'm no longer high security. I'm on low security, and so now I'm allowed to travel. You know, there's no problem with me traveling. You know, as long as I continue to abide my the rules and all that regulation. You know, not doing the things that I'm not supposed to do and stuff like that. So
Okay.
you know,
So now that's a big load off of your shoulder. One, that you got the
yeah.
job. Two, that you're
Uh-huh.
no longer on high security. So that way you can travel and do whatever it is that you need to do for the job. Now,
Yes.
you know, just mentally speaking, like what about your mental? Like how is it that you are able to continue to do this, right? How are you, that has to be mentally draining, that you're applying for all these jobs and they're telling you no. You know, you're just trying to get back your life back on track, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden it's like this is continually stopping you. How do you stay mentally sane?
Because I feel like, you know, I'm a strong believer that, you know, yeah, if one door closes, few will open. Another door is going to open. Matter of fact, if that doesn't open, there's pretty sure a window that's open that you could go through to, you know? So I look at it that, the, that, you know, even though I kept getting no, 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 I know that, you know, God had a plan for me and that I know this wasn't it, that He didn't let me get out, made me do all that time just to get out and get denied, you know, get denied work. I know that there was a bigger plan. And if I had that in my head, you know, I just had to be persistent because I knew that if I gave up, really, I put in my head there was no giving up, because to give up it would be, to me it didn't make sense. So I got rid of that concept, that wasn't an option ever in my head, to give up or to be like, oh well, this is what people are gonna look at me as a statistic, so I'm just gonna be that. I didn't want to have that loser mentality, that loser mindset. I stay with a winner mindset. I stay with, okay, you know what? If God God knows that I could probably he probably excuse me. I felt that God had something better for me. That He didn't give me that job because He had something waiting for me down the line that was going to be better than that. So I stay with that mindset, and luckily it worked out. It worked out in my favor.
Yeah, because for the most part, we as people,
Mm.
and also just as men in general, like we, a lot of people accept their reality, right? Most
Yeah,
people accept the reality that they've been given and then just keep it that way. So it's like, hey, if I grew up a bum, that's the only way I can stay is I'm a bum. Or if
yeah,
I went to prison, now I have this record. That's the only thing that I can do is have this record and I'll never
yeah,
get a job or whatever. Like there's a story about, like I said, I listen to a lot of, positive stuff and, speeches,
yeah,
motivational speeches. And the one that stuck out to me was the story of the two gentlemen that lost their job. They both
yeah.
lost their job, but one every day acted like he was working, got up, put his clothes on, went to got the paper and went to work as if he went to go look for a job, but he went to work as if he was going to work, right? The other
Yeah.
one did the same thing, but probably after like, 2 months after he couldn't find a job that kept telling him no, he started getting down on himself and he stayed home. He started drinking. He was just like, they don't want anybody job, but the one that kept doing it, he wound up getting like an internship somewhere. And he was
Yeah.
like, listen, he pretty much told him, I don't want to be home. I just work, and he went to work for free for like 2 months while the other one stayed at home complaining. The other one
Hmm.
became an alcoholic or whatever. And then this one, pretty much because he's such a hard worker, somebody had retired and the boss saw it and was just like, yo, you can take that position.
Hmm.
Was the other one complained about his job? He wound up committing suicide.
Yeah.
So, it's just, you cannot accept that reality. You have to keep pushing forward. Like, you have to continue to think and have a vision for yourself
Hmm.
that's not in where you are.
Exactly.
It's a very big thing because like sometimes even with me, like I think like shit. That's number one. I
Hmm.
think like damn, like sometimes you kind of just think to yourself like, yo, this is all that I can be and all
Hmm.
that I will ever be. But then that puts you in a rut, and then you just constantly have that negative, 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 negative vibe, and it's not healthy,
Right.
you know. And it's hard to get out of that. It's very hard to get
Hmm.
out of that.
Yeah, and that's exactly how I did it too. I just realized, like I said, that's why I took that option out because to me, I didn't see any benefits in having that as an option. I'm like, oh, I could be negative. I could look at it as glass half empty and blame everybody why I'm not getting this or I'm not getting hired here and turn back to drinking or doing stupid stuff. And then, but what would I get from that? What would I gain from that? How's that gonna help with my situation? How's that gonna help me overcome the obstacles? It's not. The obstacles still gonna be there, and if anything, I'm just putting out more obstacles in my way, giving myself more of a hindrance. I'm trying to move forward. You know what I'm saying? And like it was crazy. How I came to this way of thinking was being locked up, seeing people who just gave up and they haven't even really just gave up. Like, you know what? I'm here. I already know that I'm never gonna amount to nothing. That's it. And I look at them like, why do you why do you think like that? Why are you saying that? They're like, well,
Yeah.
I'm at rock bottom. I'm like, yeah, you're at rock bottom, but it doesn't mean that you gotta stay here in rock bottom. Like, yes, this sucks. We're in prison. There is no denying it sucks. But it's time to, you know, go through that feeling. It's a feeling. Go through it, but know that it's just a feeling. It's going to pass. This time is going to pass. Just
What helped
do
you
your
in
time.
prison go through that? Like, to just think about like, yo, it's gonna pass. Because that
Um.
has to be I mean, I've never been, and but
Yeah.
that has to be a place where you can literally fall
Go
into the
crazy.
negative.
Yeah.
stereotype, and especially with you, I remember you were telling me that you were in the hole at one point.
Yeah, like I said, like I when I went in, I didn't have this mindset that I'm at now. Like when I went in there, I was just like, you know what, I was I was going against the grain. I was, talking back to guards, snapping on anybody who at me or talked to me wrong. And really the only reason I was doing that was just because of how society um, groomed us on how to act or how it is in prison. It took me to actually do be there to realize how opposite it is. You know, the best way I could describe it, really, it'll be like, okay, I've never been in the military, I've never been a firefighter, but I would imagine that there's just there's just codes and this like there's rules that are among your guys, like bro codes, things that you just do to get along because you're not with your loved ones, you're not with your family, you're around a whole bunch of people you don't know, with whole people with different you gotta live with different personalities, different ticks and stuff like that. You're gonna bump heads, but you gotta learn while going through all that. It's like, what, am I gonna am I gonna lose my shit because I don't like how this person talks, or I don't like how this person laughs, I don't like what this person does, I don't like this person's ticks. Am I gonna let that ruin me? Am I gonna let that ruin my day, or I'm just gonna just ignore it? So you learn to ignore it because you just feel like there's no the only person who's getting hurt here is you, and at the end of the day you're losing because you did all that. You did it. You got in the fight. You got sent to the hole, and that person is more likely not getting anything taken from, not going to the hole, and more likely going to go home a lot faster than you are, and you're probably gonna stay there longer. Once I started realizing that, I was like, well, then why even waste my time?
Yeah, and that's I was listening to our interview the last time, and it's just certain things that you said before, about having that this the same concept that you just said about, like, if pretty much people are going to test you in essence in prison, but are you going to react to it, or are you going to just calmly go down? Oh, I think we lost connection. Hold up. Hmm. Give us a second, guys. I think we lost connection with him. Yeah, I don't know. All right. We're gonna work on getting him back, hopefully. So pretty much what we were talking about was pretty much like how we go about, you know, really persevering, because there's going to be people that test us. There's going to be people that go, not people also, but there's going to be things that really discourage us, and things that wowzers. um you're back. Hold on. Boom. All right. Sorry about that, guys. So he should be
Yeah,
back on now.
you can't
Boom.
hear me, can you?
No, I hear you perfectly.
Oh, okay.
All right, what were you saying?
All right. Pretty much because I don't really. I was talking again about how I got this mindset, right? All right. Pretty much what I was saying was how I got this mindset was, realizing that the way I was going about it, how I was going about, you know, letting things bother me, getting in fights and stuff like that. It was only hurting myself. It was only hindering me. And once I understood that and realized that, you know, because at the end of the day, I was in the beginning, I was blaming everybody for where I was at. I was blaming friends, family, the judge, my lawyer, you know, just everyone but myself. And what's crazy, like after a while, one thing I'll tell you about prison is that it at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you do. It's gonna make you sit there and make you look at yourself. Because at the end of the day, that's really what prison is. Dude, you sit there and realize what you did wrong, see the errors in your ways, and you know, and better yourself. That's the idea of what prison is. So that's what I did. I took that idea and I ran with it. So while I was in there, I learned traits. There was a lot of traits that I wanted to learn, but unfortunately I couldn't because here in Texas, for certain traits you have to have a certain amount of time, and I didn't hit those criteria, so I couldn't get do all the traits that I wanted. But some traits I was able to do, I learned, and took with me, and I took them out here in the world, you know, and I try to apply it. And I try to use that mindset, that new mindset that I got in prison was that, be optimistic and just try to make the best situation out of what you got. Play, even though I have a bad hand, try to still play my hand, kind of like spades.
Mhm. So now, right now that you got this job, right? What exactly it is that you're doing?
Right now, I am working on manholes. In case no one knows what those are, it's pretty much the holes you see, like when the Ninja Turtles used to pop out of
The
manhole,
sewers.
the sewer. Yeah.
And did you have any type of knowledge on what you were doing beforehand, or it was just something that, hey, I got a job and I'm gonna figure it out as I go?
A little bit of both, a little bit of both. I had somewhat of an idea of what it is I was doing, but I didn't have a full understanding of it. So I was kind of like, you know what? How I'm looking at this, I'm like, I'm gonna take this as a learning experience. And it might benefit me in the long run. You never know. Like I realized, you can't. I'm not gonna turn any blessings. Is it an ideal job that I want? Is it a dream job I want? Of course not. But right now, I can't be picky. I can't be choosy. I'm grateful and I'm glad that they're giving me this opportunity to show myself. They're giving me a second chance. They believe that in me having a second chance. So I'm forever grateful for that and thankful for them for doing that. Because they didn't have to do
Yeah. And now, like, just for like you said, you're getting the second chance. What about this second chance do you believe that you would do? Wow, why is my camera bugging now?
that.
What about the? It's just all types of technical difficulties today, guys. I apologize. Um, what about this second chance? Do you like? You're getting a do over in essence.
Yeah.
What do you think that you're going to do with this do over?
Hmm. Well, ideally, what I want to do with this do over is, accomplish the goals that I put out. And the goals I want is,
All right. So what's the goals?
goals is, uh, to own my own house, uh, maybe lay down the line, have my own business.
Okay, boom. See, I was trying to steer it towards that. So
Yeah.
have your own business, right?
Hmm.
What is it that you know about starting up a business or not?
None. I don't really know too much, but I feel okay. All right, how I got this job. One of my very close friends helped me get this job. Uh, he he's somebody that is pretty good when it comes to business. He's business savvy, so I feel like maybe down the line I could. I could probably learn more from him about that aspect. I That's kind of what I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to surround myself around people who can help me get to that goal. Help me understand that world, understand what I need to know to open up a business, to do that. If I have to go back to school, save up money, go back to school and learn about business, if that's the case. But a lot of my friends were telling me too much. A lot of them who have started businesses didn't do it from college. They didn't do it the traditional way, how everyone is taught.
Yeah.
High school,
Just
college, and then they went from either they finished high school or they dropped out of high school and they just
started a
got the money up
business.
and started up a business. Had an idea, took, and that's one thing I'm learning. They took a risk. I'm learning more. I want to do with this second chance is take more risks. That's gonna
Yeah.
help me be more of a risk taker in the positive aspect because I was a risk taker in the past be when it came to negative stuff,
Yeah.
and I saw where that got me. So I want to take more of a risk now, the other direction, more of a positive direction, you know. So yeah,
Because I say that to because like I'm reading this book, right, and I commented on it on the channel earlier where it was about being the first, you
hmm
know, and pretty much laying out your vision, having faith that you can do it, and then fighting for what you want, right?
right,
But it's all about being the first. So you, like you said, you might, yes, you have a friend that started businesses and a couple of friends that started the business. But if you have
hmm
that idea and that passion for it, why not go for it now? You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
start positioning yourself. I'm not saying like you have to just go, jump into it because of course
right,
there's going to be obstacles, but start positioning yourself in essence to do that and to do what you want. You have this job that you're doing now,
hmm
and like you said, hey, it's a job, you're blessed to have it, and I completely understand that point because in essence I'm kind of in the same boat. Like I have a job right now working at the firehouse. It's a job. It's not something that I want to do long term or anything like that, but right now it's a job. It helps support my family,
hmm
but there's other things that I want to do. Like I want to graduate school. So I'm whether it's me taking a class, which I'm doing right now, taking a class one by one, I'm gonna do that, right?
right,
Um, I want to build this platform. So whether it's me being consistent every week doing something, that's what I'm gonna do. Uh, I know last conversation we had, you said you were interested in something like this. Start it. You know what I mean?
right.
You have a following from what I see on your Facebook when you be posting your crazy ass pictures.
I don't understand how they're crazy. They're really basic. It's just either
Well,
me
they're
laying
basic
in my
pictures,
bed,
but it's just
basic pictures.
listen. Listen. Not many guys throw filters on their pictures, but if you want to throw the filter, you throw the filter. Who am I to judge? But
Clearly,
you
I
have
don't
a
know. You
following.
you feel the need to judge every time, but
No,
continue.
I'm not judging. I'm just laughing. I have to make fun of it. I have to. It's not a
You
judge.
don't have to. You
Uh,
you could simply look at it and walk away. But yeah,
oh,
yeah, I
oh,
guess.
no, trust me. That's what you posted one recently. I didn't say anything. I walked away. It's too easy. It's too easy.
I can't
Um,
with you sometimes.
but build your platform. I think a lot of people will love to hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
You know, build it.
And it's crazy. You're not the first one to tell me. A few people have been telling me that. And my thing is like I just don't know where to start yet.
Just start. That's the thing. That's the crazy part about it. Like I mulled over the same thing. Like I just don't know where to start, but just start. It'll come to you. Just start.
A lot
Literally.
of people, yes, they tell me the same thing too. That's crazy. Yeah. I'm probably, I'm gonna get into. I'm gonna start. Like
No,
me, I'm one of those people. Like I said, this is why I want to change this because I'm one of those people. Like I guess it has to do with my horoscope. I'm a believer. I like balance. I like to weigh things out. you know. So before I do things like that, I'm like, I'm gonna do the pros and cons. I'm gonna do my homework on it. I'm gonna look into what is it, how can I see myself in this scenario. Kind of like, okay, this is this is me trying to get out of that comfort zone now. Like for instance, when it came to doing this manhole, I I took that out of the pitch. I took the whole, oh, how do I see myself do this? I took that out. I took that right out. I'm like, you know what? We're not going to do that, Max, because every time you do that, you end up not doing the thing and then kicking yourself in the butt later on. So just go for it, go into it. You know, what's the worst that could happen? What's the worst that could happen? Granted, I could get hurt or shit like that. But we're being optimistic here. If I follow the rules, I get a good teacher, I I shouldn't get hurt. I shouldn't think nothing should happen to me. And so for like the team I have, they're good. They're good guys. They're real helpful. They answer my questions and they give great detail, which I was kind of not expecting. You know, and they're patient. They're patient. They would show me everything because I guess they understand that this is not something that typically anybody could do or want to do. You know,
Yeah,
so it's something either is a required taste. But I'm learning to to let to let go of that security blanket. And that is to
I want to give
be
you a
hindered.
quote that I heard again today,
Hmm.
because how we were talking about, like, you're doing your due diligence and stuff like that. It's anything worth doing is worth doing badly until you get it right.
Mm. I
And
like that.
I mean, like, we are always so afraid to push, to persevere because we're afraid it's going to be bad
Right.
because we don't know what we're doing. And
Hmm.
if you've never had anybody to show you what to do, like, it's just going to be that. So a lot of people shy away from that.
Hmm.
And honestly, if you just keep doing it, eventually you're going to get it.
And
It's
that's
not
exactly how
you
I'm
to
going
do
with it too. Yeah.
that, you know.
Okay. But
Like,
yeah.
those are roommates.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's as far as I know, you wanted to do the gym stuff. What do you
Yes. That's
what do you have vision for that? Like, what processes have you started for that?
what process have I started with that? Okay. I've been actually talking with the family about that. All right. So I have my father, your father, Tonto Waldick, my other uncle. For some reason, his name is slipping my mind right now. I have a few of my uncles who are on that same page with me, so they're, you know, helping me by pushing me to do it because they see the vision. They see me doing it as well. So, like, okay, before I got this job, I was looking at I was going to other gyms and seeing how they work, how their how their system work, how they do memberships, how they do trainers and stuff like that. Learning the trait, as you will. And I'm fairly confident that I could do it myself. I don't have to be as big as like a Gold's Gym or a Planet Fitness, but I could be an average Joe's or something like that, and still get the same clientele, get the same result. You know
All you got to do is just start, B.
exactly.
The crazy part is we have the space. I mean, we
Yes, exactly.
you know so the deck has the space. It's just really you being able to get over towards
Yes.
him.
So that's what we're doing. So like my game plan is like, well, I was telling my pops because he was asking me about this, like, what was the plans, to save up so I could go out there. so I'm not, stuck at staying at my uncle's or my sister's house for a long amount of time. That I could just get out there and just start working, start working on that and just focus on that, and not get that out the way.
So here's what your first step should be. You know, just from knowing a little bit about it in a sense, right? Your
Hmm.
first step should be is to get that, you know, personal training, the not the license, but the certificate. Yeah,
Certificate,
I
yes.
mean, you got to work on that.
Hmm.
So right now, that should be your goal is to get that past that. Then
Right,
from there, whether you want to go back to school or not, that's up to you. I would suggest it, but it's really still up to you.
right.
But at least at that point, you can at least start working while you go back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's more like, I don't want to say that's more likely going to be the outcome, but how's it look?
Sorry.
How I'm thinking of it, that's probably what I'm going to end up doing or having to do. You know, but yeah, it's for sure to get the certificate just so I can have some credentials and I can just work in the gym and start getting that under my belt and built me, clientele. So I could do that. And like I've been doing a lot of research, a lot of personal trainers, they're not even working at like gyms, like your Gold's gyms anymore. Like I was telling you,
Yeah.
they do
Mhm.
more like warehouses or their houses, or they do it online. And what they'll do is they'll just give their clients. They're not even doing full contact,
Yeah.
face to face contact. They'll just they'll send you a food plan. They'll send you a workout for the week, and then that's it. And then take your money. To me, like to me, I'm like, that's crazy. You got to lock yourself up. And it works. A lot of people, it works, and a lot of people, I guess they see results. But to me, that baffles my mind. So I'm looking at that and trying to understand that. Do I see myself doing that? No, but I want to see what I'm up against. What's out there, what's going on with this type of business. But I've been seeing quite different things with different type of gyms and personal trainers been doing. But yeah,
Well, Max, I appreciate you coming on. You know,
my pleasure.
you know, I, just you in general. I appreciate you. I am in awe that you are able to persevere the way, especially what
Appreciate it.
you've been going through and stuff like
Thank
that.
you.
And I love the positive mindset. You know, I was literally, when you told me you got a job, like I was literally, who was I? Was I at work when you told me? I think I was at work when you told me. I was literally jumping up like hell yeah, like mad hype. You know what I mean?
That's what's
I'm
up.
out here rooting for you. And just like I told you
Appreciate
earlier,
that.
if nobody told you that, I'm proud of you. I truly am.
Appreciate that.
And I wish
Same
you nothing
here.
but the best.
Same here,
Um,
brother. Like
you
I said,
know,
you no homo, but I'm your number one fan.
you ain't got to say no
There's-
homo, man. Listen,
I don't.
that's toxic masculinity, man. Right? You're allowed to say
There's
you're my
some
number
things
one
no, there's some things that that's inbred in me because I'm a New Yorker. That you got before you say it because you don't want to sound crazy. You don't want me to sound like you just jumped
fan.
out the window. you you gotta put that
You
pause in
gonna
there
say
real
something?
quick.
You gotta say pause at least. Just say pause. Don't say no homo, guys. We're not homophobic out here.
Hey, do you even know where those came from? Like,
What
all right, no homo. That started in Harlem, right?
did it?
And then I want to say Brooklyn took it. I think it was Brooklyn or Queens took it, and instead of saying no homo, they said pause. I may have it backwards. Don't quote me on that. Though. It may have been Brooklyn that said the no homo, and then Harlem took it. Instead of saying no homo, they said pause. And yeah, it was pause from Harlem because Dipset used to say pause.
Oh,
They
I,
were
I don't
learn
know.
something new. How you
But
not know? You're a New Yorker. You should know this
yo,
stuff.
listen. I don't say it. So
I you okay? I guess you outgrown it because I
at
swear
this
when you
point,
was
yeah,
younger.
when we was younger, yeah, I probably said,
Yeah,
no, I definitely said no homo or, no, or pause. But
Yeah,
It is
I'm
what it
forever
is.
saying that. I'm forever saying that. I can't get it out of me.
But yeah, I appreciate it, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. Um,
Yes.
Again, like, share, subscribe,
Subscribe.
send it
All
all
that
out,
good stuff.
all
Yes.
that good stuff.
So
And with
then he can later down the line start his podcast.
that, word. And yo, follow. I'm gonna put Max's credentials, all his Instagram, his
Yeah.
Facebook. You know,
I'm not
was
gonna lie. You're probably gonna be bored. I'm not. I'm a boring person. I'm not gonna lie
yeah.
to you.
So he says, ladies, he posts pictures of himself with no shirt on. It's all right.
It's nothing special. It's nothing.
But
It's
with that
nothing to
being
go over.
said, this is Drin Talks. Good
One.
night.